Well, it's a beautiful sunny day here, and we're having a nice ginger and turmeric drink here. We want to welcome you to Clean Regime Health Coaching. My name is Mike Espinola. I'm the author of the book Clean Regime Health Coaching, where we go over all the different ways today why people have health problems, which I can imagine that you would agree with me that we all have too many health problems today. Not a lot of us unfortunately realize why that's the case, and that's why we're here to try to help enlighten you, especially those of you who have been looking for the answers and just at this point haven't really found them yet. This is the place for the answers. As we have been doing this for years, we've done a lot of research, we've practiced a lot of these concepts ourselves. We've had a lot of great success in improving our health and improving our overall lives, and that's what we want to bring to you. So again, here's the book, Clean Regime Health Coaching, a health coaching guide to achieving vibrant health, which is again what we're looking to do. So a little overview of the book, what you'll find in the book, what we're all about. The main concept of the book really is about the body becomes contaminated by our environment. The food today we eat lacks nutrients. And those two concepts combined create an overall contamination in the body, which only gets worse, never gets better. And as the contamination gets worse, so does our health. And our health has been on a decline ever since we started contaminating our bodies. Whether we know we're doing it or not, it's happening. Now, we measure contamination on the concept of, since our body is made mostly of water, it is a body of water. Any body of water has a pH, as it is a solution. It's not just water. There's all kinds of stuff in it. Minerals, elements, compounds, microbes, on and on. Now, we're not talking about digestive fluids. We're not talking about specific fluids within the body. We're talking about the overall intracellular fluids of the body. Now, again, we measure contamination by pH, by measuring pH of the body. And this is done with in vitro strips using saliva and urine. You can actually measure your pH and find out how contaminated your body is. Now, when I first learned about this, I measured my pH. I did it over a 3-day period and kind of averaged out 9 different readings. And I was as low as 4.5, which is very acidic. Now, it is this overall acidic situation that breeds disease, breaks down the body's organs, breaks down the immune system, causes disease. There are so many things today in our environment that cause these problems. Most of us are unaware. Some of us have some clue, some of us know a little something, some of us might know a little more. We're here for all of us to gather the information that we need in order to do this correctly. Because in today's environment, a little bit is not enough. You got to stack the deck in your favor, and we're going to teach you how to do that. So let's take a look at the book. What you might see on the screen behind me is the glossary. We have it broken down quite extensively. So as you're reading the book, if you want to go back to certain topics, they'll be easy to find. If you want to apply something, learn a little more about something, go back to something, what have you. Now, we've already talked about the nation's health, so that's the beginning. We talk about marketing tactics of drug companies. Health professionals who care, more people sick every day. Again, contamination, the cause of disease, right? All kinds of issues with drugs. We really do not like drugs. We don't use drugs. We don't recommend using drugs unless it's absolutely necessary. We know that drugs are necessary on occasion, but we don't believe in the necessity to use drugs on a regular basis with no real end to it in sight. That is a declining health situation in our belief. And we want to be able to teach you how to not fall into that trap. Granted, people get health problems. People's health gets really bad. If you're on your deathbed, then you might need some drugs. But if you can bring yourself back, you can get yourself off the drugs and heal. Now in chapter 2 I have the story about my experience, a little bit about my life, where I began, when I was like the average person, thought I was healthy, thought I knew how to be healthy. Went to the doctors, realized I have all those basic beginning health problems, blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, all the metabolic stuff that most people have. It's the biggest problem in the country today is metabolic syndrome. And I go over how it was confusing to me when I work out all the time and I watch what I eat and I eat the right kind of foods. I was still having health problems. I just couldn't understand why I would have any health problems. And it talks a little bit about, going to the doctors and listening to all the cliches and the regular stuff they tell you, and it's not your fault. If diet and exercise doesn't work, it must be genetic. You're going to have to take medication in order to deal with it. Well, I didn't fall for it. There was no way. I felt I was too young to be on medication. In my mind, where I come from, people that are on medication, they're old. They're elderly. They're on their way out, if you will. Today that's just not the case. I mean, they have young children on medications, as I'm sure most of you know. So I talk a little bit more about my story, how I achieved the right information, that when I put it to work, when I applied the concept I learned, the great success I had with health and how excited I got about it, and actually how the book manifested itself. All right, chapter 3, we talk a little bit about that pH. Now, pH, again, this is chemistry 101 stuff. Any body of water has a pH rating. It's acidic, neutral, or alkaline. Our bodies want to be neutral or slightly alkaline. In order to achieve that, the only way to achieve that is to create balance in the body by making sure that there are an equal amount of acids as there are alkaline elements. Unfortunately today, poor nutrients, not a lot of fresh foods being consumed, fruits and vegetables, there are no nutrients. So we're left with an acidic situation. Again, contaminants are mostly acids. The acids that our body creates on a natural level, uric acid, again is acid. So, acids aren't good. Your body does not want to be acidic. So we talk a little bit about what pH is, what it means, and how it applies to the body, but then we go further and say how it applies to your drinking water and how it matters, why it matters, and it's important. One of the cliches is to be healthy, you got to drink more water. Well, if you're drinking a municipal water supply that contains chlorine, fluoride, and possibly other contaminants, the last thing you want to do is drink a lot of it, especially with fluoride. I mean, fluoride's a drug. On your toothpaste, they tell you only use so much. If you swallow it, call the Poison Control Center. They tell you drink more water because it's healthy for you. Well, there's no drug facts label on your faucet. You're supposed to drink 4 glasses, 8 glasses, 12 glasses. When is it enough and when is it not safe? Is any of it safe? These are the questions you got to ask. Other types of water sources might be, a private well or whatnot, but there are environmental contaminants as well that we have to worry about. So we talk about how to find and or make your own safe drinking water, which has the right type of characteristics for safe drinking and for overall health improvement. If you're drinking contaminated water that's acidic, you cannot alkalize or create balance within the body with it. It's just not going to happen. So water being one of the main ingredients for overall health and for cleansing, and even hydrotherapies, different types of therapies where the water is used to improve your health, all need to be used or performed with the right kind of water. Contaminated water is never good, whether you're bathing in it, showering in it, drinking it, it's never good. You need to avoid it. However, today it's not that easy to do. Some of us have to take steps in order to make that happen. The Hollywood people, all the rich people, they have reverse osmosis systems in their house where their water is purified. And that's what they bathe in, that's what they wash their dishes in, that's what they wash their laundry in. They're not allowing those contaminants into their houses. Unfortunately, most of us don't have that luxury. We either can't afford it, we don't have the place to put it. There's a lot of issues with trying to do an RO system in the house. So further along in the book, we're going to talk about the different types of contaminants within the environment. The stuff we know about, the stuff we don't know about, the stuff we do voluntarily, the stuff that we're not doing voluntarily, the stuff that we thought was good but it's actually bad. Whether that be a food product, a cleansing product for your home, your body, hair, soap, cleansers, moisturizers, those types of hygiene products. The soaps that you clean your dishes with and your laundry with. Soap residue gets left in your laundry, gets left on your dishes, you eat food, you put your food on a plate, those chemicals get into your food. This is happening all around us too much. Now, the people that create these chemicals and sell these chemicals, they say, well, in a small amounts, they're all right for you. Well, you got 300 people a day telling you at small amounts it's all right. At the end of the day, it's not a small amount anymore. It's a cornucopia of different types of toxins, which add up, and we're seeing the ramifications of it today. There's just no doubt about it. So again, we're talking about food, and food is going to be obviously one of the biggest things we talk about here. Unfortunately, the food itself is being attacked, adulterated, changed in ways that it never should have been changed, and is creating even more health problems, new rare diseases and allergies, and at a more rapid pace than ever before due to this accelerated eugenics, if you will. So food is going to be a big one. We have a lot to talk about in the way of food. We're also going to be talking about detoxification. How, once you measure your body's contamination, how do we get rid of it? How do we get it out of the body? So we're going to teach you how to do that. There's a lot of ways to do it. You have to be careful. We'd like to walk you through it. We want to tell you give you some different options. It's always better to take things slow and try things a little at a time. It's more comfortable that way. But however you decide to go about it, we want to be there to help answer your questions. So we will be taking questions. We'll be giving you an email that you can send your questions to, and we'll actually be answering them for you, on the show. As we create new shows, we're going to be doing this quite often. There's all kinds of new information coming out all the time. We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to go through it all the way to the end. We're going to start over at the beginning again. We're going to go all the way through it again, because this is what it's going to take. Repetition, question and answers, trial and error, and we'll get this done. So we're going to do this together. That's why we're here. Again, this is Clean Regime Health Coaching. I want to welcome you to the family. And I look forward to having you on a weekly basis with us. Again, we look forward to your questions. We love questions. It helps us get the information out that's necessary. I mean, we know a lot of stuff. We're going to lay it out for you. And as we do, we want you to pick through it. We want you to understand it, internalize it, and be able to apply it. The concept here is that we're going to create, with enough information, a new mindset for you, a new way of looking at things, so you'll be able to answer the questions for yourself in the future, because that's really important. So we're not going to give you a fish, we're going to teach you how to fish. So again, Clean Regime Health Coaching, welcome to the family. I look forward to spending time with you.